Right, we start in Kenya. The Red Cross saying today that scores of people are still missing. Of course, this after the terror attack. We heard from the president earlier saying that attack on a hotel complex in west of Kenya is now over. But 14 people, at least 14 people have been killed, hundreds more evacuated. And of course, South Africans are concerns about their safety. And then we heard earlier from the brother of a woman who was caught up in that attack. She was a hotel manager, and we speak to SABC reporter Hitekani once more. Hitekani Magwedze joining us after you spoke to the brother of one of the victims. He lives in Yeoville. Hitekani, I'm sure the family is devastated.
Oh, that's correct, Francis. Among the many families whose victims were, who the lives of the victims were lost, of course, in the Dusit hotel attack, are quite devastated. But we did, as you rightly said, have an opportunity to speak to Kelly Konjalo, who is the brother of a victim, or who was the manager, or rather the communications manager of the hotel. When we spoke to him yesterday, in the streets of Johannesburg, he explained that he was trying to get a hold of his sister. In fact, he was saying that he had been calling, but her phone was just ringing with no answer until 3 a.m. this morning. His mother called him to inform him that they had heard news that unfortunately she was within the victims, or the number of the victims of the attack. In fact, this afternoon when we went to see him, he confirmed that their family had gone to the mortuary for an identification of the body. He was quite morbid when he told us that they had in fact positively identified his sister as one of the victims. In fact, he was scheduled to do an interview with us, but unfortunately he couldn't bring himself to do that interview. We have as well spoken to other Kenyans who stay in Yeoville, who yesterday had said that they are concerned as well for the safety of their loved ones, because they hadn't heard anything either. In fact, what they were saying is that they were just getting videos and pictures from their friends and other people who they know, really graphic videos of people who had died, but they hadn't heard anything. Fortunately for them, they've heard from their families. The families are safe, but as you rightly said, they do know and they've heard from their family members that there are people within that community who are still unaccounted for. So it seems that number of the deceased may just rise, and of course we'll keep detail, or we'll keep an eye on it to bring you an update on it.
Could we name the sister, talk a little bit more about her? Did we find out, you said the brother just couldn't speak, and understandably so, but did we find out about who this woman was? Let's individualize the victims. Certainly,
Francis. Her name is Bernadette Konjalo. His Kelly Konjalo's little sister. She was 34 years old. She was in the communications field. As I said, she was the communications manager for the hotel. Now, Kelly Konjalo's story is that he moved to South Africa a couple of years ago, I think about 10 years ago, with his family. He has a family of about 5, including his wife and children. But he moved obviously because of the conflict that carries on happening there, the attacks in Kenya on the public. So he was, he says, concerned for the safety of his family, and he wanted to raise his family in a place where their safety was at least somewhat guaranteed. Now, he was as well working on bringing his little sister into the country. In fact, he said she was here just a couple of months ago, leading to the December holidays, and he was working on bringing her back. He said there was a job that seems to have been guaranteed for her and he was working on bringing her back, bringing her into South Africa for her safety, and it's quite unfortunate that she lost her life in this incident, Francis.
All right, Hitekani Magwedze, thank you for that. So a local Johannesburg resident mourning the death of his sister in that terror attack. It's just awful. Nzinga.